Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have made it. It is the end of the week. It's been an exciting week. It's been a busy week. But I hope everything went okay for you. I hope you finished this week off strong. I know a lot of us were going into today very motivated, very excited, full of energy. There were a few who were tired, but the ones who were tired had really kicked butt at the beginning of the week anyway. So uh, they're going in for some well earned rest. But all right, so how did it go? Did you end that week off strong? Are you ready for the next quarter? Right, we still have one more month left in this one, but that means you need to already be thinking of the next quarter. You got your goals aligned, you got your milestones aligned, you got everything going. I hope so. But if you don't or you're not ready, you got plenty of people in your corner ready to help you out and get you there. So don't stress it too much. We'll get you there. Take some well earned rest coming up this weekend. And it's good to recharge, good to reset, good to get away for a second. So we're just gonna, start finishing closing up our week of storytelling. Uh, Very important week. Storytelling is phenomenal in its own right for the individual, for the professional, for the business, and all of the above. So definitely, keep up the storytelling. As you can see, I'm working on mine. I have a long way to go, but it's okay because it's fun. I get to do it with you guys, and I get to kind of tell you the Frago story. So kind of picking up where we left off last time, right? There's a lot of things that have been happening, and I personally wanted to address it in the corporate culture and really kind of hit on those missed opportunities, the missed training, the missed leadership, and you know, it's it's really because there's a misalignment there, and it's setting people up for failure, both veterans and just regular employees who've worked their way from I don't want to say the bottom, but from their entry level, right? For wherever they entered at, they're trying to work their way up and they're trying to get right and progress and grow. And when you don't have the proper systems in place to let that happen, you don't know how to foster that training, you don't know how to have that dialogue, those tough conversations, you don't know how to manage your team properly, it's going to create bad habits and it's going to really make you inefficient and it's going to bring down the morale a little bit. Even if you're a great person, a great leader, um, with the best intentions, if you don't do it right, you're not going to hit those key points, and you're not going to hit those milestones, and your team's going to be a little dysfunction, disorganized. You're going to have the little clicks that kind of pick up in it, and they're not fully merged together as a team. They're a little divided. So we want to kind of address that through different programs, through different training programs, through education, both leadership education and professional education, right? In your specialty trades, whether it be IT, welding, data center, it doesn't matter. Whatever you and your industry at your company and your job have you doing, right? You want to be the best at that area. So definitely there's a lot going on there. So that's why when I picked up Frago where I did, it was to address that. And it was to find that synergy for what veterans can bring to that situation with their training and experience and align it with what industry has and the great things they do, and find those synergies within the two so they can complement each other as opposed to being friction points against each other. That sort of happens. And a lot of that comes from that stereotype and those stigmas against veterans, that they're just going to come in guns a blazing and all this. And while it is true, a lot of veterans will come in and being very motivated, very proactive, it tends to get snuffed out by organizations because they're not used to that. And it's not to say that the veterans right and the industry is wrong, and vice versa. It's to say that's where that misalignment is, that's where that misfiring is, because you as an organization want to pick up on that and you want to utilize that momentum and leverage. But at the same time, right, you don't want the veteran to get carried away and it just demoralizes the team. So that's where we kind of come in and we pick that up and we work with those industries, those teams, the departments, and we really develop those programs, and the we provide the training so that you can have that alignment, you can have the synergies, you could utilize that talent that you have in your team and get them trained, right? If you as a leader cannot step away from the organization without you either A, worrying it's going to fall apart, or B, you can't trust that things are going to get done, then you're not leading anything. You don't have a functional organization. And that stems from all those things we talked about, from communication, from the leadership capabilities to the trust to the autonomy, right? All those have to be in sync, and that's part of what makes a well-rounded team. If the leader can't step away without things functioning, or they think everything's going to fall apart without them, then you're stuck like Chuck and you're in a very, very bad spot. And that's just going to create a very toxic environment, right? Because now we have an imbalance of power, and it gets dicey. And then depending on the individual and the personality, right, micromanaging creeps in, belittling creeps in, people don't feel adequate to their positions, or they feel like they're not getting that attention that they deserve to grow and to learn, so they'll go elsewhere, right? And that contributes to that high turnover rate. And so we wanted to address that, and we wanted to make sure that you're not suffering from turnover, because turnover will bleed you, bleed your morale, it'll bleed your money, it'll bleed your productivity. Just and for simple stuff, right? It's easy, simple stuff. You as a leader should be comfortable walking away and trusting that your team is going to get the job done and they're going to do things right. So if you haven't trained that level and you don't have that kind of confidence, then you need to really evaluate where you're at, and you need to evaluate how you're taking care of your team and how you're letting them grow. So, just a little food for thought out there. We're definitely going to have one more session for this week, just because I do believe storytelling is important, and because you guys have really motivated me to keep the storytelling going with the check-ins. I am going to try to go back to doing some live events, or at least at a bare minimum, get a weekly Zoom event going on so we can all have a dialogue, right? That's the best part, when we can all get together and have dialogue and discussion. And if you notice, I just want to make a little shout out. If you notice all the names and industries and companies I've been tagging this week in my post, I want you to look at how very diverse they are, and they come from all walks of life. Everyone is from different industries, different perspectives, different companies, different training evaluations. Some are veterans, some are not veterans. And that is a driving point that you should be looking at for yourself as well. Do you have a diverse pool, or are you sticking with what's comfortable for you? All right. I'm very proud to boast that I got people in Australia who train and mentor me, that I get to have dialogue with from different industries. I get to work with some of them. It's really exciting when we found those synergies and we're helping each other out. I got people in India, I got people in the Philippines, Japan, all over Europe, a few places in Africa, South America, Canada, Mexico, right? So that's the fun part, and you want to have that diversity. You want to have that ability to get different viewpoints, different perspectives, and especially from people in different industries, because sometimes we get in our thing, well, this is how we do it here, or in this industry we have to do it like this, which is not always the case. And sometimes there's really, really good people and really, really good ideas out there who could bring a new, fresh perspective. And at worst, you just get new ideas and you get a new style of being able to analyze the situations you're in, and the things you're dealing with. And for good parts, you definitely get to see how they handle people and they handle situations, and you could take good, bad, and indifferent, and you could work it and shape it how you need it. So I want you to just keep that in mind, and I want you to look at your own network and your own circle, and see what's strong and see where you can improve a little bit. But it's what we're here for. I'm here to help you through that, no matter what, whether as an individual or an organization. And there are many, many, many great organizations and people out there who will help you with this, right? So you're not alone. That's the best part. The information's out there, the people out there, they want to talk, they want to share, they want to have dialogue. So let's go get it together, because that's the best part. We all get to interact and hang out and talk and share ideas. And that is, I mean, for me, that's super cool. I get super excited about that. I'm also a really big nerd. So it is what it is, right? All right, guys, it's been an amazing week. So proud of what you are doing. Looking forward for a little more dialogue, and start sparking up ideas. What do you guys want to talk about? I want to hear from you, and let's talk about what you want to talk about. Let's open up the floor for discussions. Teach me something a little bit. All right, guys, you're not alone. Don't do it alone. Enjoy your weekend. Get some well needed rest. And guess what? For you football fans, it's Super Bowl, so be safe and stay good.